Hi, welcome to the second of two videos that I'm creating to showcase some of my skill set in programming and design, development, prototyping, basically the whole gamut of software development. The first one was the RX Signature Archive Generator, which generated all kinds of fake data that this viewer that I'm going to show you in this video consumes. It allows you to view the data, search on the data, things like that. So it's really the heart of the solution that I put together, and you know, it's all the bells and whistles. You see, I've already generated data for two different stores here. This is 7 years worth of data, unlike the video where I just really quickly did one. This one is for like full 7 years, so they're significantly larger than the ones we had in that demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and show you real quickly. Source code wise, it's the same kind of thing. C#.net, the platform independent open source version that's available. This is 8.0 LTS, and Avalonia for the user interface, which is a nice open source user interface for multi-platform stuff like Windows, Mac, Linux, stuff like that. This is the first real project I've done with it, and so I'm a little, slow on it, but I really do like it. It's very flexible and stuff. You lay it all out using XAML, which is an XML-based format for describing controls and user interface elements and stuff. And you can see all the layout for all of this stuff you see is just contained here in this little bit of data. That's what I like it, but I can also just move stuff around very quickly. This doesn't use MVVM, which is model view model. It just uses code behind. That's what I'm more familiar with. It's simple. When I picked a project, it didn't have that in it. So rather than try to add that in after the fact when I'm not used to it, I just decided to go with code behind. And that is basically to use the controls and access the controls within the code directly by name. You can see stuff like for checkboxes and things like that. I just create those on the fly where needed and put them in there and access them that way. This also uses the library I talked about last one to read in the data from the JSON file and to access signatures from the zip file, the signature zip file. All right, without further ado then, we will go ahead and we will actually run the viewer. Let me make it bigger. I don't want to take up the whole thing because the recording controls here kind of interfere with some of my buttons, and that's not cool. So we will just try it like this. You can see nothing's available here yet. There's no data or anything. What we have to do first is select the archive files themselves, and there's a pair, the JSON file and the zip file. So we're going to go ahead and pick them in a pair, and we want to make sure we match them up like store one is store one. That's why I named them that way, so I can very easily match up the JSON and zip files. We're going to go ahead and open. Even though those are big, it takes a very short time. You can see it's already done. It's telling me that the RX record JSON file has 107,114 records and signatures in the signature file is 101,000. Now the reason for that discrepancy is because not all of these records are marked as picked up. Some of them have been canceled or abandoned randomly just to simulate more of a real world situation. And those ones would not have the signatures at the end because they were not delivered to the customer or picked up. So now that we got these data files loaded, we can go over here and switch to the search. We have a data grid that'll show you all the data. If I click here real quick, you'll see start a new search. Suddenly all of these fields, we can edit them. And any editable field that you see here, all these ones that are in teal coloring are editable. What that means is they can be used as part of the search. And the search results will show down here. It'll tell you how many records match that search criteria. Since we haven't entered any criteria or query field data, it's going to show us all the records that are available, 107,114. Let's just do a first name. And all of these searches are for contains. Anything you type in here, it's going to look if that field contains that data, not that it has to start or end with it. This is the most flexible. So I can say like B. And it's case sensitive. So if I go capital B or lowercase b, it doesn't matter. You'll notice first names, now we've got Bert because it starts with a B, or Norbert because it has a B in it. All of those show up. And you can see down here, it's utilizing one field, that's the first name, with a B in it, results in 8,960 matches. Now that's what it's showing us. The result set is at 896 matches. Well, what do you mean intersection? The intersection, well, now if we go to last name, say we do M. Now it's utilizing two active query fields, the first name with a B in it and the last name with an M in it. And you can see they got different results. 8,960 first names that have a B in it and 18,523 last names with an M in it. But combine the intersection of, in other words, the records that are the same from both of these record set searches are combined, and only those that are in both sets now are shown, and that's now 1,563. So you see we've quickly narrowed the search down, and now we can do it even more. Say we just want females, bam. Right? We've searched it now. Now we're doing 3. And notice with all of that data, how fast this searching is. This is very quick searching, set searching, link queue. It's stable and quick. Now we've got it down to 748 records. We can go through here and scroll through these records, right? And select one. As soon as we double click on one, all that information from that record row is backfilled into the record display here on the left. You can see so all their information, like Bertie Sherman's 3 years old, date of birth, gender, all this information, social security number, doesn't have one, stuff like that. There's a signature. The signature is not Bertie, it's probably her mom, right? Irene Sherman. See, we got guardian signature required is checked because this person is a minor. And I remind you, it's all fake data. Okay, but in this fake data, they're a minor, and they would require a signature from a guardian, and that would be Irene here. And then we got the information here, you know, that they acknowledged consult with the pharmacist, they confirmed their histories up to date, typical things that a pharmacy might require. Notice this is all locked because we backfilled it, but we still have this search result. We can pick somebody else, and now see they're backfilled in here. Still locked, but this is now Bellamy's record. And we can keep going through this. Now, say none of these is right, we mess something up, these are not who we want. All we have to do is start a new search. And there we go again. Defaults to last name, we can type something in here, like DE. Okay, so anything with a DE last name shows up here, right? We can limit it by age. Just 18-year-old DEs, right? So that's Sydney Henderson. Right here. So that's probably who we're looking for, but you could easily do it on any of these fields. In fact, if you do it, let me clear this out and try to use as generic information as possible. You see, we still got a lot of records here. Let's go date of birth. Anybody in 19, like 1999, 1998, whatever, should show up. But if they have a 19 anywhere in it at all, right, month or day, they're going to show up too. So that's going to do a lot. We're going to leave gender alone right now. Address, no. City, no. State, we're in the states here, good. Phone number, you could do partial match on a phone number like an area code or whatever. But as you see, we just keep adding information to this, and we can easily figure that out. Now here, like this is people who require a guardian, so basically underage customers, people who don't require a guardian, or if we want it, all of them, we don't care, we put it to this indeterminate mode, so that's going to bring all of them again. See how that guardian sig required is off of there? If I do it one way, it's added right here. If I do it the other way, it's still added down here as one of the search methods, but if I put it indeterminate, they're completely gone. Okay, so I can then pick up one of these or any of these and go from there. The other nice thing about this search capability is the grid here that shows the search results can be customized. We open the fields included in search results, and you can see we have checked fields. These are all the fields that are going to be included. So all of these checked fields are part of the grid results. If we go through here, all of these fields will appear. And then there's a special thing here called include active query fields. And active queries are the fields that were used to bring up this search, like we did the first name, last name, as SIG required. Well, we took that off, and then we had like the date of birth of 19, anything with a 19 in it and stuff like that. So if we just take all of these off, all right, we still got the include active queries, and we can see what those active queries were: first name, last name, and date of birth. Now, we take that off, we got nothing, right? But you can always add these back in too. Like, a good thing is the completion, like completed on. This tells us if it was completed or not, like these were, and so they have the signature and what date they were completed on. This one wasn't completed on. If we look at the status, it was canceled. And as I said before, it could be canceled or abandoned, like just nobody came to get it at all. We can add additional fields to this. If we already got first name and last name, so if we add them explicitly up here, it doesn't change because they're already in there. They're a part of that. But we can add their age in there as well. Maybe the address, first address line of where they're from and stuff to help narrow down the records or what have you. And then you can go from there. And then however you set this, if you do a new query, it's going to use the same data. Like, okay, it's got the same exact fields we selected, no change to those. Okay, and the only change that would be included is if we use a new field that we haven't explicitly set up here because it's an active query field. So let's do that. Let's pick another field we didn't use before, like maybe a phone number. Is there any area code like that? No. How about a 3? Any phone number with a 3 in it anyway. Here's a 503 area code. We could try that. 503s. Okay, yeah, a lot of 503 area codes here. So we're good to go. That shows up here, and now the area code or the phone number shows up because it's an active, right? It shows up, we didn't pick it up here, but because it's part of an active search down here, phone number, it's added to that. We could always take it off again. In order to take that off, we have to not include active query searches, and then we can control every field that appears or doesn't appear. Like I said, we're turning that off. Now we have complete control over what appears completely. Okay? We can do whatever we want at that point. And there we go. And then, of course, we backfill from there. And as soon as we do that, all this is locked in. We can't modify the results of the search anymore. We would have to start a new search from scratch. And that's pretty much the application here. As you can see, it's very quick. It's very functional. I think I've done a good job laying out the interface and everything. And again, the whole idea is to demonstrate my skill set, maybe to prospective customers who need custom coding, or employers or what have you, of my capabilities and stuff. And this will easily compile and run under Linux or Mac OS, what have you. Right now I'm just running it on my Windows development machine. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to watch the second video. I hope you checked out the first, because there's more good data in there on the data and everything. Last disclaimer, all this data that you saw here, all fake, randomly generated based off of common names and things found on the internet, like the US Census website and stuff like that. But thank you. Have a blessed day.